Hi guys, this is John Minihard. Just doing one of my rants, and again, I'm just giving my opinion. Has no reflection on anybody else but myself. And look, I do nothing about the Strait of Hormuz, or Israel, really nothing until all this stuff has been going on. But I like reading upon things, and and I learned a lot. And again, no deal is going to be perfect. If Trump was really a king, Iran would be a parking lot right now. And again, look, you got never Trumpers like Lindsey Graham. For the most part, I like Ted Cruz. I like him a lot, you know. But, Israel is not our friend. I'm sorry. This is just my opinion. You know, Netanyahu does not like Jesus Christ or Christians. He said it himself. And look, it is up to Israel. And you wonder why Trump didn't want him to see it. Possibly to leak it out. I don't know. Again, I am no expert. And let's see if Iran will do their part. Trump is trying. Not gonna please anybody, but he's doing 47 years on both sides who just kicked the can down the road. And there's gonna be people that's never gonna be happy with whatever Trump wants, or does. He can find a cure for cancer, and find world peace, and that's only through Jesus Christ. But and the liberals will be upset about that. And I think Trump should, say, do it in reverse, I like crime, and the liberals say, I hate crime. I'm kidding. But, you know, again, as the prices of gas is going down, just chill out, people, okay? You know, look, we have a great opportunity with the World Cup. And look, I'm not a football, or soccer fan. But I'm loving all these stories of Europeans coming on and finding that they're all spew lies and hatred and propaganda all in the UK and Europe, and loving our country, hospitality, our food, our cultures, different cultures that we don't need passports for now, you know, and I pray to God and continue after the World Cup. Look, unlike the Knicks fans who were burning down and everything and, causing trouble, and not all of them, always going to find troublemakers. The Europeans have been great, and let's show them hospitality, man. As people. I know people, we are busy, but just smile and be kind to people. We're all busy. Just smile. I say kill them with kindness. People are not used to it. And if they want to respond, they'll respond. But all I'm saying is, with Iran and all that stuff, is it a perfect deal? Probably not. Well, Iran abide by it? We'll see. And if I seriously don't think Trump will put this much effort if there is no end in sight, end game in sight. And that's just my take. That's my opinion. Take it, live it. I don't really care anymore. And I'm kidding when I say this. Can we just exchange the Europeans who love and appreciate free refills? Just simple things. And we're not all liberals, but those liberals that hate our country, why don't we send them all overseas? If they love Palestine that much, why don't we just send them there and see if they still love it, and so, and look, I'm just giving my point of view. I'm praying for peace. I want peace, for all people one day. And that's only through Jesus Christ in the Bible and stuff. So, well, I'm out. Take care, be safe, and God bless.